of all, I'm French. So it means that I can speak English very well. I hope that you will be able to understand me. The second part, let's begin by saying thank you. Thank you for our hosts. Thank you for our hosts here in Digitain. Thank you for PMI Armenia and Thomas and all the people from Clio that helped us to make that possible. Thank you also to the French Armenian diaspora. Hi, Michael. Thank you for being here. Thank you also for RELC, the RELC Foundation that brings us here. And thank you all for being here. I hope that you won't be deceived, but I'm sure you will not. And thank you for our speakers also. We were very surprised that when we asked Ari to come to a conference here in Armenia without being paid, he said yes, the first time. So it was a big surprise for us. And last but not least, thank you for my friends, the organization teams, for having made this idea possible. Well, I have to confess, I really love Armenia. I've been here in 2013 as a tourist, and I'm very pleased to be here to work on stage today. I think that France and Armenia have a really bond together. We have a long history of friendship, and this is one of the reasons we want to be here now. You send us some of our best singers, some of our best filmmakers. Your sons of Armenia are also giving their blood when the Nazis occupied France. We can't forget that. So when you're hurt, we are hurt. We feel that hurt. And when we learned about last year, we wanted to be here today saying, well, what can we do? What can we do? We, Agile from France, what can we do? Well, we can try to make a change. This is what we have been taught about. Change. A long time ago, always put Charles Navo in the presentation here in Armenia, being told. A long time ago, we saw that change was possible through projects. Because this is what we learned about. This is what we have been taught about in school, in university, in high schools, in the first jobs we had. We have to make projects. And we have a lot of very heavy methodology to make those projects. It's the fault of this guy. This guy is French philosopher René Descartes. He wrote a book called Discourse on the Method. And what he said, if you have a problem, if you want to make a change, you have to cut your problem in smaller problems, then in smaller problems, until you have very simple problems. Solve the simple problems, then add, and then you will solve your problem. You know what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work, and it's a trap. Why is it a trap? Because it only works in a known and finite world, where problems are independent. And the problem is that in the real life, it never happens. And this is the main problem why project methodologies doesn't work. Because we live in a partly unknown and infinite world, where problems are interdependent. It means there are links between things. And as far as there are links between things, project methodologies can't work. So we have to forget what we learned. This is the hardest part. And this is what Agile is about. It's forgetting what we have learned and to learn a new way of thinking. Agile says, make only the necessary interactions to explore and build the right products by collaborating and focusing on continuous improvement. This is what Agile is about. Agile is not a methodology. Agile is not a framework. Agile is a way of thinking and exploring the world. This is what Agile is about, and this is why I love Agile as far as I love Armenia. First, we have to unlearn. And our worst enemy is what we believe true that is not, convictions. We have to forget our convictions when we want to change the world. And this is the hardest part, in fact. Because we don't really know the world. We believe that we understand the world. We believe that we know the world, but we don't. And the only way to know the world is to touch it. We have to probe the world. And this is also what Agile is about. Agile is a way to probe the world. And with the feedbacks we get by touching the world, by probing the world, then we can build the right product. This is the only way we can do that. For me, Agile, in its simplest solution, is a way to structure your dialogues. It's a way of talking together, to have interactions. And with these interactions, we can have an impact on the world. This is what Agile is about. Because we live in a very complex world, there is a big buzzword, VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. This is our world. And if we want to move the world, there's two ways to make that. The hard way. This is Atlas from the Greek mythology. Atlas can move the world because he's the toughest guy. It needs a lot of energy, and only few people can do that, can move the world this way. This is the hardest way. If you are the president of the USA, then you may be able to move the world, but you won't do it. There's another way to move the world. It's to use what Archimedes said, using tricks, using a lever to move the world. If you have a lever long enough and a place to stand, then you will be able to move the world. And then you will be able to move the world. Because as far as the lever is long enough, anybody can move the world. This is the right solution. We can do that by brute force. We can use another way. And this is what frugality is about. Frugality is to try to find the minimal effort possible to have the impact you want to have. If you try to go the hard way, well, you can do only one thing in your life. But you're not sure of the things you have to do, in fact. So you take the biggest risk. If you use frugality, then you will be able to change your mind. And this is what frugality is about. Because the world is immobile. And you can't predict the results of your actions. In fact, it's funny because there are some jobs when you are asked to predict the world. Magicians, card readers, and project managers. How crazy is that? How can you predict the world? It's not possible, in fact. You can only be sure of your intention. What do you want to do and why? To have which impact? And you have to think about what is your value you want to have and how can you scale it to measure if you are high on the process or not. But the results, you can't predict them. So you want to have an impact. An impact is an action. It's an action that moves the world in the directions you intend to go with the highest measurable value. This is what we call impact. So Thank you for being here or online. What did you want to do with Frug'Agile? Frug'Agile, frugal, and agile. We can't change the world because we are not sure of the results we will be able to reach. But our intentions is to build bridges between our two countries at least, because we will be speakers in Armenia, in France, in UK, in USA, in Canada. For a free conference, it's not so bad. And we wanted to help Armenia to sing the partitions she deserves in the world's Agile orchestra, in the world Agile concerto. This is our intention to be here with you today. And the value will be measured by the connections we will be able to have together, and through the ideas we will be able to share, and by your happiness, because we want to give and to share happiness. So we can't change the world, but we can try to have an impact using Agile and frugality. Thank you. Do you have any questions, interventions, remarks? Here on the remote.
There's no questions on the remote, but don't hesitate.
So the next interventions will be by Harry at 11. So if you don't have any more questions, maybe we can put the webinar on stand.
Sure, we'll do that.